Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to paint one of those beachy cottage scenes. There are some lovely cottages in the local area, Siesta Key, Anna Maria Island, Longboat. All of those have their little historical areas and they're very beautiful, very charming and fun to paint. So I hope you enjoy this video. I felt like doing something a little different, something fun and vintage, and I thought I'd do a lady sitting in an old, I think they call these Adirondack chairs, in front of a seaside cottage, and there are a few palms in the background, a nice wood deck, and a sign on the door. So I'm going to do it in acrylics, and let's get on with it. I did my sketch on tracing paper, not that I plan to use this again for anything, but just because I always sketch on tracing paper, and I transferred it to a 9 by 12 canvas panel. I'm adding paint as I go because acrylics dry up a little too fast for me, and I've got a fan going in this room and air conditioning, and things just dry up too fast. So I have primary blue, light blue permanent, and titanium white on my palette at the moment, and more to be added as I go along. The first thing I'm going to do is the sky on either side. That's my dishwasher you can hear in the background. I'm going to add some titanium white to that. And I'm going to make a white fence, I think. I think I'm going to add a little permanent blue to this sky. And maybe a little more white. You won't see most of it because palm leaves will be in the way. I'm going to paint the cottage pink and green because I have this lovely medium magenta, and what's the other one? Brilliant yellow green. I love the fact that with acrylics everything is mixed and you can use it straight from the tube. You don't have to do any mixing yourself if you don't want to, because there's just about every colour you can think of under the rainbow. Actually, I think that should be frame around there. So that actually should be pink. And this is the bit that should be green. We'll fix that. You can see my sketch lines through the paint, but that's okay. It's one of those lovely, really bright seaside cottages. Now I'm going to do all my trim edges in this magenta, and I'm going to leave the one I did green until last. That gives it a chance to dry. And I'm doing the window frames magenta as well. I'm not entirely sure that these colours would have been available. I'm thinking of this as the 1930s, and I don't know that this colour would have been available, but hey, I really like it. Okay, let's see if that will work. Not too bad. I'm going to do this little piece of trim here. Pink. I am a bit sloppy going over my lines, but that's the way I paint. Okay, we're just getting paint on the canvas at this point anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to do the door cadmium yellow light. think I'm going to do the window frames that colour too. Alright, we're coming along. I've added raw sienna and I'm going to use that to do the decking. And I'm going to make this blue. I don't know why, but just because. And I'm going to add blue to the window panes. Okay, we're coming along, believe it or not. So I've sort of mixed a flesh colour with the pink, a little bit of yellow, raw sienna and titanium white. And I'm going to paint my lady in. She may end up more tanned or not, I'm not quite sure. And I'm going to give her dark hair. And I have to think of what colour I want to do. The pillows and the chair and the swimsuit. I've added hooker's green, which I'm mixing with a little of the primary blue, and that's going to be the colour of the chair. All right, we're getting there. I'm making this green slightly darker by mixing it with the hooker's green. It's a little too dark. And I'm going to mix my blues and get a nice, I think this would look good blue. We're almost there with the paint. I've added Cad Red Light, and that's the colour I'm going to make her pillow, the one that's behind her head. Hope you can see it. I have to use a smaller brush because I don't have a decent round that has a long handle. All right, I think that's coming along. I think I'm going to make her swimsuit stripy. I've drawn it stripy, so I'm going to paint the whole thing white first off. Using a small round with a very short handle, so I apologize if my hand is getting in the way. And I do think that this here is green chair. And down here and in here. And we see a little bit of it here. It's a bit picky, but there you go. And I'm going to mix some white with my cad yellow, and she's got this bow, a little scarf or something tied round her head, and it has a bow. Used to be very popular, didn't it, in the 30s, I'm thinking. Haven't really put a time on this. I'm just thinking of it as vintage. I think I can use some of that and maybe dot an edge to this. Maybe sort of like a tasseled edge. I don't know if that's going to stay or what. I've almost got paint on the canvas, just a couple of tiny spots. Like in here. And this yellow in here. I'm going to paint this out, and then later on I will come in, and because this is acrylic I can go over it with marker, and I'm going to print in the slogan, Happy Days. Oops, someone's letting off fireworks this early in the day. Yes, that was a gun. I don't think it was a gun. It sounded more like a firework. Okay, going to look at that for a little while, see what else needs to be done. So I've added some primary yellow because it's a lot darker. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a lot darker, richer yellow. And I'm going to use that to sort of just create some shadow and life to that. And I'm going to mix some with the green because I feel this green needs to be a bit livelier. There we go. Look at that. What a difference that has made. I like that much better. And I'm going to use that yellow on the door. I'm going to mix a little white in with it though, because the white makes it opaque. My AC is on, it's very hot today. So, not much I can do about that. I need it, the paint needs it. I touch up my colours as I go. I guess I'm not terribly steady. If I leave it to dry a little bit, I can put some tape on, and that works too. It's the nice thing about painting with acrylics. I think I'm going to make that a little bit wider there. There we go. Nothing's exact in my painting. I'm a pretty loose painter. I think that's looking better to my eye. I'm going to put some blue lines down my fencing. going to put a couple of palm fronds in, but just a couple. I don't want to overwhelm the picture with palms. I think I've got one here. I'm saying a couple, I put in 4. Okay. And on this side, I'm going to put in mix up a sort of grey. I'm going to put in a couple of tall palms that you see in the distance. And I'm thinking of them as those fan palms, so you sort of see a fuzzy thing on top. There we go. Now while I've got that very, see if I can find a brush that will do it. I've got that sort of grey colour. I'm going to put in her eyebrows and eyes. She's having an afternoon nap here. Not terribly defined. I'm going to find another blue because I think I'd like to see her in blue and white stripes. That's pretty good. When this is completely dry and I'm sort of finished with my brushes, I am going to go in with a marker, some acrylic markers, and I'll do a lot of the edging with that, and it will make quite a difference, you'll see. I won't actually be able to show you doing it, but because all you'll see is the back of my hand. I'm putting a little red into my deck just to liven it up a little bit. Cad red light. If I'm painting in water mixable oils, I would be using alizarin crimson for this. But I'm going to do the lines with a marker. So I think I'm at that point. I might have to come in a little while and do something else, but I think for the most part it's done. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed painting it. I have another one similar to this. I'll probably paint it next week. And if you did enjoy the video, please give me a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm find my channel amongst the many thousands that are uploaded every day. And if you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. And thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.